Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaha Purnahudachyate Purnahasya Purnamadahya Purnamavaha Vashishyate Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Today we're here to meditate in a way that allows us to experience the love that's the nature of all things. So that's our spiritual heart, and it's the place we connect with consciousness or love itself. And those words you could use interchangeably. So consciousness or love are the same in yoga land. In the yoga traditions, this is kind of looked like as a fact, even if we haven't considered it ourselves the same way. So there's a text called the Yoga Kita, which is a tantric text. There's a little verse there that says, with her only support, the recognition of the heart, the tantrika, which is you, is omniscient and in harmony with the world. So it appears that all we really need to do is be present with our heart, and we will find the connection to peace and bliss, which we all desire. But the question, of course, is how do we do this, and in a real way? And there's kind of two components. First, we need to create space in our awareness, and that allows us, right, to kind of move our thoughts to the side a little bit and gain the perception of our spiritual heart, which is the bliss that's actually inside of us. This requires a little bit of faith that is indeed what will happen. So we usually look to texts and teachers who have been there to kind of point the way. And even in the Yoga Sutras, right in the beginning of the book, it says yoga's experienced, which is what I'm talking about, in the mind that has ceased to identify itself with its vacillating waves of perception, which are basically your thoughts and feelings and things that distract you from your own bliss. So when we make that space, we get to feel and experience our heart space and experience love itself. But I think the thing to really consider is that it's easier if we go through a process. So we can definitely get there naturally. There might be times in your life where you have experienced this, but the practice of meditation is really all about how do you kind of speed this process up, and how do you make it so that you spend more of the time aware of love itself or consciousness or your natural state of connection or your natural state of bliss. So you could pick any one of them or all of them that you identify with, because that's what the teachings tell us. And what would be the process, to get our mind, and even in a Western sense, like our brain, to pay more attention to this part of ourselves than it usually does. So that's what we're going to do today, and that's what we're doing in general by meditating. If you're not oriented towards that line of thinking, it can be a little confusing because, if you pause and think about it, if you come to meditation and you're like, I heard meditation's good for me, and you meditate for years, you're at some point you'll probably lose steam because there won't really be a big motivation. It's sort of like, I should eat better, but these cheese balls look amazing and I'm going to eat them anyway. So it's a sort of like similar thing that happens in meditation, where if you're not like sort of like striving towards something a little bit tasty, then it's going to be hard to get there. So, what the teachings tell us is that that thing is consciousness or love itself. So, if you've experienced love in any of its forms, what the teachings say is that the love you can experience by being in your heart or knowing yourself fully or being fully connected, whichever of those kind of phrases resonates with you, is even better than that. So that's the faith part. So that's why we do it. It's like, oh, wow, there's something like totally awesome that I can experience. But I need to use a few techniques to get there. So what we'll be doing today is we're going to start with meditation based on Om. We're going to be oming and then oming to ourselves and then visualizing a clear blue sky. So while we're not meditating, one of the nice visualizations you can do there is actually like imagine like the kind of triangle of your vision as blue sky, like you're watching like a huge movie screen and you're just looking at this beautiful, perfect blue sky. And that's actually a pretty well-known meditation. A lot of traditions use it in different ways. And the reason for that is that it creates space in the mind and it trains us to kind of see the blue sky and not the thoughts so much. Not that we're not thinking, but it kind of pushes everything to the side a little. And the ohms help with that too. It helps kind of vibrate our consciousness into something a little more peaceful and clean. We're doing it together because things are easier together. Early on in my sort of learning meditation, I got to read some teachings about Buddhist teachings on Sangha that like always stuck with me, even though I ended up not really a Buddhist. But these teachings I thought were so lovely about the power of Sangha and how there's a kind of energy and momentum to it, and how important it is for spiritual practitioners to have each other. Which I always thought was interesting because Buddha did it by himself. So, it was like and after that, I think he was like, wow, that could have been a lot easier. That's how I read it. I should have been in a proper Sangha. So that's hopefully what we're creating here. Like, if you look around in the boxes around you, you'll see some like-minded people who are kind of on the same path and are interested in the same things. And I think we could all agree that we are supportive of each other in terms of each other's evolution and, personal goals. So whenever you're here, know that there's a few other people that are on your team, including me. So, and I know you're on my team too. So I thank you for that. So let's set up to do this first meditation. If you need a sip of water or to adjust, now's your moment. Again, make sure you're comfortable. In terms of your personal environment. Sure your temperature is okay. Sometimes your temperature will drop a little when you're sitting still, so be mindful of that. Of course, we can tolerate all sorts of things, but it's so lovely to have a couple hours where we're undistracted for a meditation practice. And once you've found that for yourself, gently close your eyes and notice that you're breathing. And our first technique will be oming out loud. So we're going to do that for a couple minutes. So I'll om and you can just join in with me. It doesn't have to be the loudest om you ever did. A soft one's fine, but something slightly audible to entrain your mind to the ohms. And then I'll give you instructions to continue that om and work with that blue sky after that. So let's all take an inhale together. Ooh. 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 Last one. Ooh. And now, in your mind's eye, begin to visualize that clear blue sky. That sky can be just pure blue. If it's easier for you, you could put a couple small clouds in it. For some people, that'll make the visual a little easier to maintain. Imagine a beautiful, clear blue sky. So you're welcome to sit here just visualizing the clear blue sky, but you may find it easier to continue those ohms internally. So both at the same time, a clear blue sky, and then gently ohming to yourself and really placing those ohms in the clear blue sky. So your entire focus is there, watching your inner vision in that way. And we'll sit like this for some time. at any point you get very distracted, return to the external ohms again. Begin ohming out loud. And then when you feel ready, create your blue sky again with your ohms being internal.
Om. 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 Allow a slight smile to come to your face as you slowly and gently begin to deepen your breathing. As you deepen your breathing, encourage and imagine that breath to create space and a sense of lightness within your body. Slowly open your eyes a quarter of the way open. Feel a couple more breaths move in and out. And then open your eyes halfway. Feel a breath or two move in and out. And then as you're ready, allow the eyes to fully open and feel another breath or two move in and out. Let's bring our palms together in front of our hearts. Back to your own heart. Namaste.